Well, all of us know that silver, gold, copper, those precious metals have always been valued as long as humans have been alive on the planet, right? And some of us have heard about some of the health benefits that you get from those different elements that are found in nature. Those are naturally occurring metals. And so, for example, it used to be that all of our silverware, the reason why it was made from silver and not iron or not something else was because there's an antimicrobial and antibacterial healing property to your eating from silverware, a silver spoon, a silver fork, a silver knife, on a silver platter, literally. You've heard about that. Oh, he was born with a silver spoon in his mouth, or, they brought him things in a silver platter, because those are valuables. Same thing with gold. In fact, there is I don't know if we want to call it a legend or a lore, but in the Middle East, there's been legendary accounts of gold particles in this thing called ormus, and that by your, taking in and consuming gold, that it's going to benefit the body. And of course, these things have to be done in very, in moderation. Like when you're eating food from a silver spoon or fork and with a knife, you're just getting trace amounts of it from the food, the heat of the food rubbing off of that, or even if it's room temperature, maybe you're just eating pineapple chunks, right? And you're sticking your silver fork into that pineapple chunk. You're still getting little particles of the silver just by your using it as a device to pick up the pineapple and put it in your mouth. So I want you to know that there's actual scientific study, and I'm going to post some graphics here. You're going to see it below. I'm going to show you what the science says as far as silver, gold, copper, and GHK-CU, copper peptide, which is a naturally occurring element inside your body, which is, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. So let's start off with silver. So silver is an antibacterial, it's an antimicrobial. That means it kills microbes. It helps with wound healing, tissue repair. It helps with skin repair and regeneration and regrowth and minimizing scars. And it also helps boost your collagen production. It has an antioxidant quality about it, which is phenomenal, because for those of you, a little short lesson here on what antioxidant means. Oxidants are things that are created when things start to oxidize, which is like when steel starts to rust or a metal starts to rust. That rusting is oxidation. So to have an antioxidant is to have an anti-rust solution so that it doesn't have that deterioration. So because of those properties of silver that are inherent to it, that helps with blood vessel formation and helps with your circulation and any related process having to do with your cardiovascular, blood system, etc. It's obviously going to affect your immune system, and it's going to help cellular signaling, and it's also going to assist with gene expression because it's keeping an optimized environment as those things come into place. So the next one is, wait a minute, I think I got my two mixed up. That was actually, I gave you the information about gold first because we talked about gold ormus. And you can go down the rabbit trail and kind of look into ormus and so forth. Very difficult to find and source legitimate ormus that will actually benefit you, which is another reason why I'm doing this video here. So the next thing we're going to talk about silver. We did talk about the silver and the silver fork, but silver also has a very long history. Like I said, silver pitchers, silver platters, silver ware, silver cups, silver chalices, like a larger cup that you use like in ceremonial events and things like that. But it also has antibacterial, antimicrobicidal properties to it. It also supports bacterial wound healing. So I want you to make a mental note because there's a lot of crossover with these. So can you imagine when you put the three of them or four of them together, how powerful that is for the body to repair, to regenerate itself, without infection, lessening infection, or keeping infection at bay altogether. So it also helps. Silver, we've known there's something that's Collloidal. Maybe if I spell it out, this won't get it won't get removed. But that is something that we've known for a very long time. In fact, I actually know the daughter of the inventor, the guy who brought that out into the marketplace. She's actually on my team. Brilliant scientist, brilliant mind. This woman is incredible. Her name is Jody. And so if you want to look for Jody in my feed, you'll see Jody Hadsel. She's incredible. Ask her any questions you want, anything related to silver, and especially from a medical and a health benefit standpoint, she can answer it for you. But I want to tell you, this also helps with inflammation. Very similar to gold. Has slightly different, when you look at this at a cellular level, there's a slightly different plugins, but it works all the same. And there's always an aspect of electrolytes because of the metallic nature of these metals. And all these are found on the periodic table of elements, which I wanted to make sure that you're aware of that you think about that, because they're naturally occurring metals that occur in the earth, right? Actually in the ground. But when we look at, scientists always organize things in categories, and on the right-hand side of the periodic table of elements, you have our 6 noble gases. This is over to the middle of the periodic table, but it's a naturally occurring element. So there's a lot of things that have silver, that have gold, have copper. And so that brings me to my third one, copper. So copper is really important because it also is an antibacterial. It's an antioxidant. It helps your entire body with the inflammatory process. It helps with skin and tissue regulation. It helps with collagen production. All of them have those things in common. It also helps with endothelial cell migration. Gigantic word, endothelial. What is that? So that is skin cells within the layers of the skin, because you have your topical, you have your epidermis, you have your endothelial, you have multiple layers of the skin. So this is talking about the skin cells that's in between the different layers of the skin, of the tissue. Each organ has skin, right? It has tissue. So it's helping cells move around more efficiently and quickly within that structure. So that endothelial cell migration is super important because you want things to move quickly so that the turnover of whatever damaged cell gets purged and you put the new one in place. You want to delete that one and replace it with a brand new, shiny, perfectly working one, right? And it also helps because of that expediency, because of that quickness, that it's helping that migration, that movement within the layers of the skin to move quicker. It's going to help the turnover and the formation of new tissue. So that brings us to what I love to talk about, which is GHK-CU, which is copper peptide. And copper peptide is a tripeptide. It's a long chain of amino acids. Anytime you have multiple chains of, without getting too technical, it's basically one of the master antioxidants in the body. It's a long chain peptide, and it is critical for the expression and the turning on of your stem cells inside your body. If you don't have GHK-CU, your body doesn't work. If you have 0 of that, you're pretty much on your way out. You're like feet first and then into the ground. So it is vital to your existence. So you have GHK-CU. There's also a sister peptide called AHK-CU, which I'm not going to talk about today. But I wanted to let you know that back in 1973, Dr. Lauren Picard, not to be confused with Captain Picard of Star Trek, whom we absolutely love and adore too. And in fact, our headquarters in our head office, we actually have part of our headquarters look like Star Trek because we actually had the guy who designed the Star Trek design set. We actually had him come in and design that. That was the vision, the lifelong dream of our inventor, David Schmidt. All that to say is that Dr. Lauren Picard, who should have won and should win a Nobel Prize for his legendary work on the discovery that GHK-CU turns on 1/3, that's 33%, 1 in 3 of your genes, it'll turn them back on. So the studies all show that that's 4,192 genes that, boom, all of a sudden are on, which is pretty cool if you think about that. So you go from whatever number of stem cells you have based on your age, and now you're going to turn a third of your original stem cells back on just by signaling GHK-CU copper peptide in the body. That is monumental, absolutely monumental. And so now you're wondering, okay, Lillian, well, this is all great and dandy. Where am I going to get gold? Where am I going to get silver? Where am I going to get copper that I can consume? Well, I'm going to tell you first, of course, there's things like wearing a gold charm, wearing gold, wearing silver. You see, I have both. I have silver and I have gold, right? But as you know, we are in an environment where we have electromagnetic frequencies, we have chemtrails, we have all sorts of different things in our environment. We have our soil that's depleted from a lot of different nutrients that normally we would get trace minerals from that's very depleted now. So we have to supplement. And there is this thing that's called blue that you can get that has all of those things. So it has colloidal gold solution, it has colloidal silver solution, it has colloidal copper solution, and it also has a methylene blue solution. What, in my opinion, and based on the research that I've read, this is probably one of the safest forms of your being able to have something that has those 4 things that you can take, not, in my opinion, now this is my professional opinion, not on a daily basis. You're going to take it here and there. So maybe you'll take it once a week, or maybe once every 3 or 4 days. We're all different sizes and shapes. So I can't tell you, I'm 103 pounds, 5'1", so I can't say that you're going to take the same amount as someone who is 150 pounds, 5'8", and maybe, and it could be that they're 150 pounds of solid muscle as opposed to 150 pounds where maybe they have not so much muscle and higher water and fat weight. So it all depends on the person. And that's something that you can always work out. For those of you who do muscle testing, or for those of you who do what I call the polarity test and reset, where you actually use your entire body as a probe. If you're curious about that, just ask me in the comments below. I'll put the video because I started giving that out for free during the pandemic. So the bottom line is your body will tell you. It's not a yes or no. It's not a right or wrong thing. Your body will literally go forward if you need it, and it'll either stay neutral or pull back if it doesn't give you energy, if it's not of your benefit to take it in now. This is true with anything, not just with blue. So if you're interested in that, this is something that I personally have been using for going on 2 years now. Again, I don't take it every day. I do not. I don't think that anybody should be taking. In my opinion, do whatever you want. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I am not an MD. I have a PhD in metaphysics, and I have another PhD in perfectum that's in Q. So this is my professional opinion based on, I've been studying medicine for over 3 decades. So, but your body is the best expert. You're an expert on you. So you can tell. And if you don't know how to do muscle testing, or if you don't know how to do the polarity test and reset, it's okay. You can watch the video. It's so simple. Even I have 5, 6, 7-year-olds that do that every single morning as part of their routine to make sure that the energy is moving in the right direction from their brain down their spine so that it's not slow, stuck, or sluggish. And then they're also able to measure. It's like, oh yeah, this is good for me. Oh, this isn't good for me. Or, you're at the supermarket or at a restaurant. Should I have this or should I have that? You use it as much or as little as you want. Okay. I think I've said enough, and this video is 14 minutes long. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to go that long. Oh, so before I forget, the one important thing, depending on when you see this video, but until the end of this month, till August 31st, because this is being recorded in August of 2026, until the end of August, the 31st, when you get blue, you will get an electrolyte for free. So I think you'll be pretty excited because it saves you quite a bit of money to be able to get that for absolutely free. So you'll get gold for free, you'll get blue, and then you're going to get the gold electrolyte for free. So And if you really want to up your game, take the Health IQ. That health assessment will, just like you have a IQ quotient for intelligence, you have an emotional intelligence, well, you have a health intelligence quotient also. You'll find out where you stand in terms of your health, and then we can tell you, okay, these are the things that we need to signal in your body in order, we can do it without medicine. And we can do it non-invasively, non-transdermally. We use this preoperatively or during surgery and post-op. And we have incredible, incredible results from that. Okay, now this is a 15-minute video. So sorry it's so long. Facebook's going to chop this up into who knows how many videos, but at least you guys have the content. I will put this video in its entirety also on my YouTube channel for those of you who just want to watch it from beginning to end, because the first time I post this on Facebook, you'll see it in its entirety, and then Facebook will chop it up. I'm probably giving you guys too much information, right? Okay, thank you. And if you want to learn more about these types of things, follow me. I give health tips every single day. This is my passion. I really want to impact and improve the lives of people like you, the person who's watching this video right now. I'm Dame Lillian Walker. Thank you for your time and your attention. Ciao for now, my friend and Jim.